This is not breaking news. Donald Trump and Mike Pence do not see eye to eye on every policy issue. Now, there are always disagreements between presidential candidates, nominees, and their VP picks, and people often overstate them. But let's go through a few of them in this instance. First of all, Mike Pence does not support Trump's Muslim ban. He called it, quote, offensive and unconstitutional in a tweet last year. They also differ on trade, on exceptions on abortion, and how same-sex marriage should be legislated. Trump says it's an issue for the states, and Pence wants a constitutional amendment banning gay marriage. Pence also expanded Medicaid in his state under the Affordable Care Act. A lot of commentators were discussing these differences today, and I wonder whether maybe White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest has any comments about Mike Pence.
You mean the TPP supporting Medicaid expanding Mike Pence?
That's what you want to call
No, I don't have any comment on it.
Well, that seemed like a comment to me. Anyway, Mark, of the disagreements we just laid out, which ones do you think could be actual potential problems?
Josh Earnest is going to end his run at the podium, I predict, engaging in comedy.
Yes.
Look, the Democrats are largely not challenging Pence's qualifications. They're basically saying he's extreme, and they've added another extremist to the ticket. There's also this attempt, as Josh did there, to sow discord between the running mates. You see this every time somebody gets picked. There's no two people who agree on everything. Some of their agreements are pretty profound. I think the one that's the toughest, and you see this in the talking points the campaign put out that our colleagues guidance on BloombergPolitics.com right now, the question of the Muslim ban, which Pence, as many Republicans did, denounced in no uncertain terms. They try to fuzz that up. I think Trump continues to move to the center on that, not all the way, but to the center more than the original proposal. I think that's the one that's the most dangerous. If Pence is asked about Trump's fundamental judgment on the original position, I think that's problematic. I don't see any of the others being a huge problem.
Look, I think that, yes, I do think that's conceivably a very large problem. I mean, he was very stark in terms of his condemnation of that proposal. And as we know, Trump has modified it in some ways. And there's now, apparently, according to our Bloomberg Politics colleagues, you have a story on the website about this. There's, some kind of an internal memorandum that's out about how they're supposed to kind of walk their way through this, try to navigate some of these differences, especially on that issue. I think that's a problem. I think the trade thing is also kind of a problem. I mean, trade is so much at the core of Trump's economic message, and Pence is a bona fide, lifelong free trader. How they're going to reconcile that.
As with Newt Gingrich when he was trying to get on the ticket,
I agree. Well, it would have been a problem for Gingrich, too.
I mean, Trump says, I'm for free trade. I just want good trade. I want good deals. I'm not against all deals. I want good deals. I think Pence says I'm for good deals too. I trust Donald Trump to get in there and, unlike Barack Obama, negotiate good deals.
Dude, that is just word salad coming out of Donald Trump.
Well, it is. But
if you're threatening a 25% export-import tariff on China, you're not a free trader. That's not what you are. Free trade means something, and you can say, I'm for free trade, but I want good deals, but you're not actually for free trade if you're going to implement those kind of tools.
I agree with you in a rigorous, if this were being scored like, in a debate class, but in the rough and tumble of presidential politics, I just don't think any of these things are that hard to reconcile. They can fuzz over them. The press gets obsessed. Every time there's somebody on the ticket,
Pence was for NAFTA.
The press gets obsessed about these things. Look, almost anyone Trump could have picked, would be for NAFTA.
Well,
I mean, it's going to be a problem with anybody you put on the ticket.
Yes. Well, again, but doesn't mean it's not a problem. I mean, our question is like whether we're going to be able to, whether you're going to have questions that are going to come up where people are going to say, hey, here's a relentless critic of NAFTA. Here's a guy who voted for it and was for it.
And he says, look at Trump's policies. Look at what he says. He's going to get us good trade deals to help bring jobs back to America. I just don't think, except for the Muslim ban and even that, I think they'll finesse. I just don't see this as a big problem.
I don't know. If we let him off the hook on that, I think we're pretty weak.
Well, no, I agree, but it happens every 4 years. I mean, Joe Biden had disagreements with Barack Obama. Dick Cheney had disagreements with George Bush. Yeah. Just like the press obsesses about him, the other party tries to make hay, and then it all goes away.
Yeah,
usually by the convention, it all goes away.
Mainly because the vice presidents don't really matter that.